All right, coming to you today on location from Edisto, South Carolina, at our house here, Dreamweaver. I'll include a link to the Facebook page for Dreamweaver in case you want to see some pictures and learn a little bit more about the property. And there's links to find out the availability, and we'd love to host you here sometime. But anyway, a little bit of a different setup today. There's a couple of liquor stores on the island. Actually, some usually have some pretty good things. So I am going to taste 4 bourbons today. And let's just say I've never seen these bourbons anywhere before. So I know they're not exclusive necessarily to South Carolina or Edisto, but nonetheless, and my setup's a little odd, so I'll have to show you them one by one. So this is from Charleston Distilling Company, Vessie's Straight Bourbon. I've had this a few times. I'm actually a sucker for the bottle, and it's a little bit hard to see, but it's got the nice palmetto on it, which is, famous here in Charleston and in South Carolina. But to tell you a little bit about this is from charlestondistilling.com. Vessie's bourbon is aged for a minimum of 4 years. And the mash bill is 70% corn, 20% wheat, and 10% rye. First time about it. Sucker for the bottle. But I enjoyed it. So let's give a little pour here today. I'm going to keep it light. I don't have an infinity bottle to pour things into. And I don't have my Glencairn glasses, but I'll manage. Price on this, I believe I have the receipt, but it's not itemized. If memory serves, this is around $60, I think. So let's give it a little bit of a taste. To me, this one's really smooth. It's a good sipping bourbon, one that I can drink neat all night, within reason, or put on some ice. It's good too. So again, it's got that higher wheat content, 20% wheat, so it's going to be a little bit softer on the palate. And this has got a good, smooth. It's consistent from front to back. Nice buttery finish. It's just those wheated bourbons. I think they're just good sippers. So give this one more little sip here. Yeah, there's a little bit of cinnamon, subtle though. I mean, warms you up a little bit, but again, a good smooth drink. And again, for about $60. So let me rinse this glass out a little bit. Try to get as pure a taste from all of these as we can. All right. So the next one that I'm going to go with is this Bibb and Tucker. I don't know that much about it. It's kind of hard to see the bottle here. But let's read a little bit about Bibb and Tucker. So the spirit company is 35 Maple Street Spirits. Mash bill is reportedly 70% corn, 26% rye, 4% malted barley. The proof on this one, this has been 92 proof. It's been aged for 6 years. It is Bibb and Tucker small batch bourbon whiskey. So as you might recall, I've talked a little bit about small batch before. It's sort of an ambiguous term. Really depends on the particular distiller and what they quantify or classify as small batch versus large batch. Again, I don't remember exactly what I paid for this, but I got both of these at a liquor store, kind of nice little liquor store. Usually has some good stuff, called Green Boat Discount Liquor. So if you're ever here in Edisto, definitely a spot you want to stop in. But be warned that buying liquor and beer and wine and everything in this area can be a little wonky. Like you have to get the beer at the gas station or at the supermarket. You can't get it at a liquor store. But anyway, let's give the Bibb and Tucker a taste. Probably a little bit too much of a pour here, but we'll manage. Nose on it. It's a soft nose. A little bit of that toffee smell to it, but let's give it a taste. Now, to me, much stronger than the Vessies, and I'm guessing we're seeing noticing the taste difference primarily because of the mash bill. If you remember, the Vessies had, I think, 20% wheat. And this Bib & Tucker doesn't have any wheat. It's got a lot of rye in it, 26% rye, I think. So it's got a little bit more heat to it. But I like a drink with a little bit more heat. But it's not overpowering. Let's give it another taste. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll confess, last night we had a neighbor over to hang out for a little bit, and I decided to try each of the bottles that I'm going to share with you today, and just a little bit. And I found myself gravitating towards the Bib & Tucker. It was a very smooth drink. Again, it's got a little bit of that heat. The heat is consistent. Sometimes when you drink a bourbon or a rye whiskey, to me, there's kind of two different experiences. One is the heat; it's hot in the front, and then tapers off. And the other one, sometimes I guess there's three. The second might be that the heat is soft on the front, and then it comes later in the aftertaste. Whereas this one, I think it's very consistent front to back, still holding that same kind of heat. So we'll finish this sip off, and we'll move to our third one. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a good drink. I might have to stop by and get another bottle of this before I head home. Not that I'm going to drink it all, but I've never seen this in Indiana. And frankly, I didn't look up where one might find that. So let's move to our third drink today. This is Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And it says this bourbon is 7 years old. It's 100 proof. So the bottled in bond tells us a couple of things. Bottled in bond means it has to be 100 proof, not more, not less, 100 proof. And I believe the bottled in bond means it has to be aged in a government supervised facility. And I think it means it has to be aged for a minimum of 4 years. Now this one says it's 7. Another couple things we can learn about this one is, let's just go to the Heaven Hill website. I was trying to find the mash bill on this one. I think I found it somewhere. So the mash bill on this one says it's 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. Price tag on this one, it is a little bit more expensive. This was about $99. So it's up there, but let's give it a little bit of a taste. Again, I try to be not too liberal on the pour here because, I've got another bourbon taste. But see, this one right off the front is just like, it's like caramel corn, maybe like a toffee. I mean, it's a very buttery. That corn is on the nose for sure. Yeah, that one's nice. Definitely, I would say the predominant flavor for me is like a buttered popcorn or maybe even a caramel corn, maybe a little bit of toffee. It's a nice, smooth drink. Yeah. All right. Now, the last one I have for you today, I think this will be the most expensive bottle I've purchased so far to date. And whether or not that holds true or not down the road, we'll see. But I stopped at the Sea Spirits liquor in Edisto. And, they have a decent bourbon collection. But I guess the owner has a private selection, and he had a 23-year and a 20-year Pappy Van Winkle. They weren't for sale. They did say that I think they had an old stag or something that owner's private collection that he was selling for like $400. I'm like, no. But I did spend $200 on this one. So this is called Orphan Barrel Fable and Folly. Never heard of this before. But from what I can tell, is apparently this company finds or discovers lost barrels of whiskey or something like that. So just to read a little bit about this one, let's see. So the fable and folly comes from lost barrels of barter housed, forged oak, and various rhetoric releases with aged rye and corn whiskeys to create a masterful blend that pays homage to the original releases, yet possesses a distinct profile all its own. Now, this is a 14-year whiskey. As far as what is blended in here, I don't really have a lot of details. I don't really know anything about the mash bill, but what I think I learned about when something says it's 14 years is if there are multiple whiskeys in this blend, that the year that you claim that it is has to represent the least mature or the youngest of the blends that you put in there. So we know that everything in here is at least 14 years because of that. So let's give this a taste. And again, this is the most expensive bottle that I've purchased to date, and never seen it before. So I'm kind of, when I go someplace and I see something, especially in another state that I don't see at home, a good chance I might try to get it. So this is the Orphan Barrel Fable and Folly. So let's give it a taste. Now, I remember tasting this last night, and this one is the most complex. At first drink, I didn't like it, and the same is true today. It's okay. Um, I found that as I had second and third sip, that it seemed to get a little bit, the flavor, the taste, the aftertaste, everything seemed to change a little bit. So we're going to go in for sip number 2. See, the nose on it isn't that much. There's not. There's nothing that comes forward and says, "Oh, I'm this or I'm that." It's very. I would just say it just smells like a little bit of a I don't know. It's just, there's not a lot on the nose that says, "Wow, this is this or that." It's kind of boring on the nose, honestly. And as far as the taste, it's smooth. It is smooth, but there's nothing that's like nothing that's jumping out at me. Honestly, it's I don't want to say it's a basic drink. I'm sure it's way more complicated than that, but I just don't know that much about this. This is one I think that I'll revisit from time to time. But in the moment, I don't know. It's okay. So would I spend $200 on this again? No. Would I buy this Heaven Hill again for $100? Yeah, I probably would. I don't know. It's okay. It's not my most favorite, but it's okay. Would I buy this Bib and Tucker, which I think again was around $60? Yeah, I like this one. Of the 4 that I'm sipping on today in this video, probably my favorite. And then this Vessi's, again, I think it was around $60. I've bought, let's say, a handful of bottles of this over the months since we've had a place here in Edisto, and I do like it a great deal. So what do you know about any of these bourbons? Have you had any of them before? I plan on bringing them back to Indiana with me too. So whenever we get back home, if any of y'all want to stop by and sample any of these things and, maybe sit down and chit chat and talk about bourbon or life or whatever you're into, I'm cool with that. Just let me know. And appreciate you leaving a comment and feedback and thumbs up and subscribe and all those good things. So thank you so much.